Are you ready to redefine what it means to thrive at any age? Welcome to Age is Just a Number with BJ and Ruth. In your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, you deserve to live your best life. Say goodbye to preconceived notions and let's shatter those stereotypes together. Get ready to own your vitality because age, well, that's just a number.
Hey everybody, it's BJ.
And Ruth.
And we're back talking about your health and fitness journey and how we can all work together to accomplish our fitness goals. And we're into 2024. And so this is a time, Ruth, we talked about this where we see all the gym memberships go up. Everybody's
there in
right?
the beginning of the new year. Yep.
And statistically, what we know is that 60 to 70% of those new gym memberships
aren't there by the second month, aren't there
that's
in
correct.
February.
Once February rolls around.
Yeah.
So, we want to talk today specifically about time. We live in an instant society where the expectation is click and here we go.
Instant gratification,
right?
and this is nothing,
Right?
It's not about being quick.
Yeah.
It's not about instant.
What's the other thing now? Swipe right, swipe left?
Yeah, the online dating platform that you don't know about, but I do apparently. Had to throw that one in there.
Yeah, I just thought that'd be a good one. It's a different world. We had a good laugh. I said, how do you meet people nowadays anyway? Swipe right, swipe left.
That's a whole other podcast.
But that's another conversation for a different day. But let's talk about time and realistic time expectations for, number one, we're talking about building a lifestyle. So a lifestyle is not something you do once or twice or even 3 times. It's something you're going to commit to over the course of your life. That's why it's called a lifestyle.
Permanent fixture in your world. It's not just this, I'm going to do this for like 2 weeks and then see what happens and then stop. Because if you stop,
nothing's going to happen.
Nothing's going to happen.
And to preface this also, there are no shortcuts. There are some things that you can do both nutritionally and from a training perspective that will give you better results, but there are no shortcuts. And we've talked about this before, that we are both natural in our approach to health and fitness. So you can say, well, what about taking PEDs? Sure, that's a shortcut, but that's one that's going to also shortcut your health in the process. So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what you are realistically going to do with the body and the genetics that you've been given. And there's some supplementation and things that we've talked about in different episodes. You can look back on those as well. But understand this, that without PEDs, it will take you 5 to 10 years of steady training and quality training and hard work to achieve your genetic potential, your full genetic potential.
And how many years have you been training in bodybuilding at the gym? How many years?
A lot.
Well,
I'm thinking.
Do you have a number?
I'm going to guess. Let's say 20, 30 years.
30, and I've been at it for 15. So this is not something that neither of us have kind of been doing this, just on and off. It's a long-term commitment, and so that's what gets changed.
Yeah, and that's 30 plus years. And I qualify that. What really took it to the next level was when I decided to start competing. And that,
for me as well.
That meant my training had to ramp up. That meant my diet had to ramp up, and all the discipline had to be there to take those next steps. But it's still roughly a 30 plus years journey of health and fitness. And whether I didn't do it every day all through that or every year, I still did something through that period.
Yeah.
And so that's number one. It takes time. So 5 to 10 years of steady training, like not hardcore, but consistent. How's that?
It's consistency.
Consistent, focused
that's
training, not mailing it in training. You might, we all have days where we might be mailing it in a little bit, but it's 5 to 10 years to achieve your genetic, in theory, your genetic potential. Okay?
And the one thing I think we need to also kind of, I need to throw in there is a lot of people think, well, but I'm older now, and so I can't get started. It's like, yeah, you can. I never even held a dumbbell in my hands until I was 40. I was 40. I was running long distance and hurting my knees and hurting my hips to the point where my GP said to me, you keep running, you're going to need new hips and new knees. And so I pulled back from running,
Right.
and I walked into the weight room. So I was 40 and kind of went, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm really intimidated, and how do I get started? And I actually had people who said to me, well, you can't gain muscle after 40, and you can't do it naturally. And I just said, well, watch me, because why can't I?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
anyone who uses well, I can't because I'm older.
Yeah. And part of that is a lot of us have just been fed a lie, and we believed it.
We believe other people's excuses and make your own.
Sure. And the other part is science is also evolving and learning new things. Now, is it more difficult to add muscle when you're over 40 than when you were 20? Yeah, you have to do maybe a little bit more than you used to do to add muscle. You have to work at it harder, maybe. You have to be more focused at it. And maybe there's less wiggle room where in your 20s you can eat pizza 3-4 times a week and still be okay.
Yeah.
Whereas if you eat pizza 3 or 4 times a week now.
But I'll tell you, in my case, I didn't ever try to build muscle at age 20. So I don't know what I would have been like. I read all the research is out there, and it says that as you're older, it should be more difficult. But again, I didn't know what to compare it to. I never picked up a dumbbell until I was 40. So, and I became at the very top of my sport. So that whole idea of I'm older so I can't, that's in your head, and you got to get rid of that mindset.
Yeah.
That's your biggest obstacle right there.
Yeah, for sure. And we've talked about mindset on the channel also. You can go back and catch the videos about things like where are you going, why are you doing it, who are you, things like that. So that will help you to establish that foundation. So getting back to the whole time part of things. So let's just put some numbers out there. So let's say that you want to lose 10% body fat. Okay, so you have 10% you want to lose. That realistically is going to take 3 to 4 months. Okay, so don't think you're going to the gym in January and then at the end of January,
by the end of January,
you will have lost that 10% body fat that you're after. It's not going to happen.
You won't.
So,
and and you're talking in body fat.
Sorry, I should qualify. If you want to lose 10% of the weight.
Of the weight.
Of the weight, not necessarily. 10% body fat is, that's a different animal entirely. We'll talk about that a different day as far as percentage. That's my, I said that wrong. It's body weight, 10% of your body weight.
Yeah, and always be realistic. I often would tell my own training clients, 1 pound a week is great. Slow and steady is the way to do it permanently.
Yeah.
But the person who says, yeah, I want to lose 10 pounds in 30 days, it's like, oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Good luck to you. That's so unrealistic, it's not even funny.
Yeah, so the statistics are, if you want to lose 10% of your weight, it's going to take you 3 to 4 months. And what that means is you need to be thinking that way as you're going to the gym, as you're going through the process, as you're building out your nutrition plan and what that looks like. Here's the other part of it. If you're talking about 15% or more body weight that you want to lose, it's going to take considerably longer. Mm-hmm. And in that process, there's going to be some maintenance time, because if all you do is calorie deficient the whole time, your body's going to stop losing. You're going to stop losing weight at some point.
You're going to plateau.
You're going to plateau. So there's going to be some intermediate periods in there where you're just going to keep the calories the same and let your body adjust, and then you're going to hit another round of taking calories off and training and so on and so on. So the point of saying that is that's significantly longer than the 30 days that most people are going to the gym for at the beginning.
Well, and as bodybuilders, one of the things that we know for training is typically we'll follow the same training program for about 6 weeks and then switch it, change it up. Most people don't even last 6 weeks in the gym.
Yeah.
So biggest mistake right there.
Yeah.
If you're gonna choose fitness, it's a lifestyle, or else you're just gonna set yourself up for failure.
Yeah, and here's something too. If you've already got a background of building muscle and you've built muscle at some point, when you come back to the gym, it's going to be easier for you because you have muscle memory. Whereas it's harder the first, let's say, the 2 years to build that muscle. But if after you've built that muscle, you've got that muscle memory and you take a break for a year or 6 months or whatever, once you go back, your body will respond more quickly, muscle memory, than someone starting from scratch. So keep that in mind as well. So you might see if you've got a history of training and working out, you're going to see some more immediate responses when you go to the gym. Yeah. But you still need to make that connection with yourself that you're in this for the duration. Right? Not just for the quick fix.
Not for the quick fix.
Right?
Yeah.
So the other part of that is build a program that's sustainable.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Sometimes we get so excited about what we're doing. I'm going to go like over the top, and we realize we've bitten off more than we can chew, or what we're doing isn't realistic with our lifestyle.
Yeah.
Or I haven't seen my family in weeks because I'm at the gym all the time, or whatever it is. So you want to pick something that's sustainable.
Yes.
And whatever that looks like for you, you need to determine what that is, right?
Yeah. And I know for me personally, I competed at age 44, 47, and age 50. And I can look at those photos of when I stepped on stage. I had the best physique at age 50.
Right.
So our podcast, age is just a number. Like, it really is. It's because it was 10 years of me putting forth the effort consistently.
Right.
That doesn't matter what my number is. It matters that I put 10 years behind me in training instead of 3 years, instead of 6 years,
right.
instead of 9 years. So
sure.
Yeah.
And the final part, kind of to tie it all together, is we're talking about time and committing time and being in it for the long haul going forward, is enjoy the process, right? And this is why it's so important to build something that's sustainable and that works for you from a lifestyle point of view, so you can enjoy the process, enjoy the training, enjoy the nutrition, enjoy learning new things, learning new exercises, building muscles you haven't built before, or rebuilding muscles that you had that were more prominent before.
if you find something that you like, chances are you're going to go. And then the next step is just get started.
Yeah.
You can plan it until you're blue in the face, but just start.
Yeah. We don't want to get stuck in the whole area where, it's paralysis by analysis. You've overanalyzed to the point where you know everything, but you haven't done anything.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So as we go into the rest of this new year, just to encourage you, it won't take long. Take some time and figure out where you want to go, figure out what you want to do, why you want to get there, and then start. I think that's the other thing. Start. And recognize that with starting is you're in it for the long haul. This is about a marathon. Life is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
So you want to pick something that's going to work for you for the long haul. We've talked about having goals that stretch you, that you're not just picking everything that's achievable. In other words, easy. Make sure, just from my perspective, you want to push yourself a little bit, but start somewhere and recognize that if you'll commit to the process and commit to the time, your life will improve and your lifestyle of health will improve.
It will. And if you start on a certain path and you're not liking it and you want to change it. Don't stop it. That's the difference.
Right.
So if you start something and you're not liking it and you want to start something different, then just simply continue by changing it. But a lot of people then, I think, make the choice to simply stop. And then they go from this, I start, I stop, I start, I stop.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
So if you find that you've started something and you're not liking it, more power to you. Change it, but keep going is my biggest message.
Make some adjustments on that too. And one thing, if we'd like to know, what are your health goals? What are your fitness goals for 2024? Put it in the comments so we can see too. But what is it you want to do in 2024 for your health and fitness? What does that look like for you and your family? And how are you planning to go forward with it? So, we want the whole community that we're building here to enjoy that whole process along together as well. So thank you all for joining us again, and hopefully you're having a great 2024 as we're stepping into a new year. And just, if you haven't, please take a minute, subscribe to the channel. We're putting out more and more content every week, and so we want to make sure that you don't miss anything. So by subscribing, you'll get updates for all of the new content, and it helps us also to grow the channel. And if there's anybody that you know that you think could benefit from what we're talking about, please send them a link to the video. And if you have any questions for us, you can put it in the comments as well.
Sounds good.
All right. See you next time.
See ya.